everyone. Good evening. Thank you all for joining us. Okay, tonight we continue with Master YongHua's Chanqi instructions.
Master Tan Yi liked to build temples. At that time, Mount Jun in Baling had lots of wood, plenty of timber resources. But there was a spirit in the mountain, so no one dared to harvest the wood. He said, "It should probably be okay for us to build a temple. This mountain spirit should make donations. Let's go give it a try." Therefore, he brought many workers and went up the mountain. How did it go? Halfway up the mountain, there were many white snakes, long white snakes lying across the trail. Meaning, it discouraged people from going up the mountain. He brought the workers back home. At the temple, they offered incense in the direction of the mountain. He asked the mountain spirit to be a donor and donate the wood. The second day, they went up the mountain again. All the white snakes were gone. But on that evening, the mountain spirit appeared in his dream. "Master, you have advanced way virtue. I hold great respect and have faith in you." So you can use my wood now. However, I won't give the wood to others. Please Don't let others come to take this wood.
这样子，就带着工人到上边去取木。可是人都有一些个自私的心很重。
So he brought the workers up the mountain to collect the wood. However, people often have thoughts of selfishness that are very heavy.
这些工人呢，给这个庙上造了有木头，庙上已经够用了，他们又另外拿了很多木头。
The workers gathered wood for the construction of the temple. It was already sufficient for the temple's needs. Nonetheless, the workers took additional wood.
可是这工人拿这些木头就被这政府给收去了，这寺庙上那个木头呢，就没有被政府给收去。所以他的感应愤怒的力量很大。
However, the wood taken by these workers was confiscated by the government, while the wood that's meant for temple was not. So, the strength of his response was great.
以后他就又想，他说这个恶语王啊所造的像是很多的，咱们应该呀，求一尊恶语王的像。
Later, he thought again and said, "There are many Buddha statues created by King Ashoka. We should request a statue of King Ashoka as well."
他就天天呢拜佛求求一尊恶语王大师所造的佛像，求。
So he bowed and prayed to the Buddha every day, praying for a Buddha statue that King Ashoka had created. He prayed, prayed, and prayed.
有一天，果然就有一尊佛像在这个北门外边，那个放光。
One day, indeed, a Buddha statue outside the northern gate emitted light.
放光的白马寺，这洛阳白马寺呢，这和尚呢，先知道，就先去抢这个佛像去。
It was emitting light, and the monks from White Horse Temple in Luoyang found out first, and went there to grab the Buddha statue first.
到那边去抬，多少个和尚抬也抬不动，多少个工人请这佛像也请不动。
Off they went. No matter how many monks tried, they couldn't lift it. No matter how many workers tried, they were unable to move this Buddha statue either. Master Tanyi said, "I requested this statue. We should go and bring it back."
这个白马寺的僧人没有请去，他呢，叫他徒弟看个人说，就把他推。
Monks from White Horse Temple couldn't move it.
推就抬回来，他自己。
He brought 3 of his disciples there and easily carried the statue back to his temple.
有这又得到舍利，又采木头，也这个香钱也布置给他，又得到恶王所造的这个佛像。
He obtained a relic, gathered wood. The mountain spirit donated wood to him, and he also obtained a Buddha statue built by King Ashoka.
当时呀，这个唐一法师说这是恶王所造的佛像，一般人还不相信。
At that time, Master Tanyi said this Buddha statue was built by King Ashoka, but people didn't believe him.
后有一个印度的和尚来一看，说：“哦，这是玉王当时所造的佛像。”
Later, an Indian monk came and had a look. He said, "This Buddha statue was built by King Ashoka."
于是乎呢，江陵那一带都特别的兴起。
Thus, the Buddha Dharma was extremely prevalent in the area of Jingling.
这是这个法师的教法。
That's the merit and virtue of this master teaching and influencing there.
Okay, let's stop here and go back to this section. Okay. Okay, 195. Okay, Master Tan Yi likes to build temples. And there's a wooded area, so there's lots of wood available. But this is an interesting... Oh, sorry, Wei Mountain has a question.
Hello, Master Gam, our new disciple of the temple. She asked a question, is that her friend is currently in the hospital and about to pass away. She wanted to request the temporary rebirth plaque, whether should she request it now while she's still alive, or wait until she passes away and request the temporarily atonement rebirth plaque.
I would wait until she passes away, because you want to make sure that you cover the 49 days after someone is deceased, because that's a very critical period for everyone. All right? Thank you. All right, so there is a spirit in the mountain, and this is a mountain spirit. This is quite commonplace. In Buddhism, we know that all mountains have mountain spirits. They act as guardians of the mountain. So all the resources of the mountains are under the jurisdiction of the mountain spirits. So, for example, in the Great Compassion Repentance, there's a section in the text that we say, on behalf of the mountain spirits, we bow in repentance. We repent on their behalf. So this is why this is our recognized beings in the world that is not superstition at all. In fact, many monks and nuns, in Asia, they would carry ceremonies to make offerings and to say thanks to the spirits, especially mountain spirits. I went to one of the big three temples in Korea, and it happened to be the day where they were performing a ceremony to thank the mountain spirit. So the whole is a big temple. So all the Sangha was there, something like 40 of them gathered, and I was invited by the Fangzang to join us. So it's a big deal for the Buddhists in the know. They know it's for real. The mountain spirits really are powerful. Because this Korean temple is located in the mountainous area, so many of the big temples are located at the wooded areas, the mountainous areas. So this is why the monks and nuns, typically even in Hong Kong, I was encouraged by a monk there, a abbot there, to do the offerings to the guardian spirits of the temple. Okay? And so I didn't want to do it. Anyway, because during the ceremony, they bow to the spirit. I said, doesn't sound right. Monks are not supposed to bow to spirits. Anyway, and they know, because when you make offerings to the spirits, you actually are on the good side. Just think about it. The mountain has a lot of resources, not just timber here, but there's a lot of good things in the mountain, ore, oil, and minerals, and so forth. You see, so you see these mountain spirits are pretty important. They have a lot of blessings to be able to be in charge of all those resources. Okay? And so this mountain spirit there happened to be very fierce. He regarding his woods very ferociously. So everyone knew. Then no one dared come and take the wood, take the timber. And Master Tan Yi says, I'm the Sangha, I'm a part of Triple Jewel, therefore this mountain spirit should be making an offering to the Triple Jewel. So let's go get some wood from him. Okay? And so he says, I'm the Triple Jewel, so I should go and take stuff. And when they went up there with his workers, they found some long snakes blocking the path. Now, why the long snakes? It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Anyone knows about snakes? White usually means not poisonous. Yes, 7.
Thank you, Master. I think because snake is, I don't know the exact name in English, but they come in one of the I division of Dharma protectors.
Oh, no, that's a python, the Bahoraga, the big python is a Dharma protector. They would not be protecting the mountain at all. They would be protecting the way places, the cultivators, but never the mountain. Okay, the Dharma, the Eightfold Division, including the big pythons, the boa constrictors, they only protect the cultivators and the Triple Jewel and the way places. They don't protect the spirits or the resources for the mountain. Okay. And so white snakes usually are not poisonous. Long is because it's funny to me that he's able to order the snakes, the different kinds of snakes in the mountains, clearly, and he rules over them. All those they have to obey his command, the spirits, the mountain spirits' command. So he selected the white snakes because my guess is that they're not poisonous, they're not harmful. They just say the mountain spirit basically want to signal to the visitors that you can't just proceed, okay, without threatening them, without endangering them. And see, it's so cool. You see these little details that shows you how fascinating the world is. Okay, you have to open your mind, open your heart. There's a lot more going on than you realize. Okay. On the other hand, you could say, "Oh, there's Asian superstition." Either way is fine. And because of that, they blocked the path. So people knew these temple people knew there was a signal message from the mountain spirit that he disapproves of them coming up to get the timber. So point number 2, the mountain spirits knew of their intention to go and pick up timber. So the mountain spirit has spiritual penetration. It knows. Can read your mind. Yeah, cool? Okay. Yeah. So that's why these spirits are very, very powerful. They have spiritual powers. And so Tiny have no choice but brought the workers back home. He could not, he got the message, didn't want to force his way, and so he went back to the temple. And they offer incense to the spirit, and he asked his mountain spirit to be a donor and to donate timber. And so the question that came to mind is, why didn't he do that in the first place? You think that he should know better that as a monk, I don't know, maybe he didn't know that. As a monk, we know that these spirits, these mountains have mountain spirits. The ocean has ocean spirits. River has river spirits. You don't mess with them. It's their domain. You have to be respectful, and the world actually is carved out by territories. I was driving through. Every time I drive through, one time a long time ago, I was driving through Northern California towards I forgot the name of the town now, with my Dharma protector. And as I was driving there, he's driving through me through. I think it's through way past Fresno and so forth, and I was relaxed. I wasn't driving. I was sitting on the front seat, and I noticed that one area people were like I saw in. What came to mind was I felt a welcome, like when Clinton went to Vietnam to rekindle the relationship between the United States and Vietnam when he was still president. Okay, when last days of his presidency, he decided to bring his wife and his daughter for a trip to Vietnam and enjoy Vietnamese food, authentic Vietnamese food. So the Vietnamese Communist government arranged for the streets to be lined with Vietnamese waving American flags throughout the entire thing. And so I noticed, wow, this area, people really are waving the flag, more or less. They're bowing and bowing. And then another area, people actually are staying away and kind of, like, don't stick around, get out of here, and so forth. You see, now I realized back then, long time ago, that the world is carved out by territories. Some are hostile to us, some are friendly to us, and so forth. Okay? So that's why when you go to places, you have to be very careful, okay? Don't offend the spirits, okay? And so Master Tani got the message, he came back and performed the ceremony to ask the spirit to cooperate. And so they came up, went up on the mountain again, the second day, the following day, and there were no white snakes, you see? And so, and then, this to me kind of funny. And then, so they got a lot of timber, a lot of wood. And you think, what do you think? They probably cut a lot of trees, okay? And now you have to deal with tree spirits. And I'm surprised that the tree spirits did not complain. You know, the bigger the trees, the more powerful the spirits. So you can imagine building a temple that must, in a Chinese style, they must have these long poles to support the roof, yeah? And therefore, these the big trees, they have very strong spirits, and they cut down a lot of big trees, okay? And apparently, the tree spirits never complain because they're under the jurisdiction of the mountain spirit. You see that? There's hierarchy in the world, folks. Okay? Yeah. Anyway, the world is a lot more intricate than you realize. And so they cut a lot of trees and they brought it back, and that night the mountain spirit appeared and he said, "You have highway virtue, not advanced, highway virtue, highway virtue, a way, high virtue way, whatever." Okay. And so you have highway virtue. I hold great respect and have faith in you. So to me, it's kind of funny that the spirit objected to the Master Tani's gathering, picking up the wood, but he had to be asked, officially asked by the spirit, and then he said, "Okay, I allow you." And then he comes around and says, "I respect you anyway." See, this is the problem with spirits. They're spirits because they're not very smart. Got my point? There's a difference. If he were a spirit, if he recognized Master Tani already, when Master Tani and his workers went up the mountain, this mountain spirit immediately recognized Master Tani. And as he said, "Okay, that's a virtuous, a lofty way virtue monk. Therefore, he's going here to get my wood. So let's give it to him." Okay? If he were to do that, his blessing would be far greater because he would not have to be asked. As a reminder, if you asked, you only give because you asked, your blessings are a lot less than if you were to give without being asked. Huge difference. Okay? And so that's why as monks and nuns, keep that in mind. Okay? We don't ask because it's more convenient, of course, if we were to ask, "Oh, by the way, I need a car. The temple needs a car. The temple needs rice for the weekend," and so forth. If you asked, a lot of people will make a donation. Okay? A lot of people are very, very generous. They didn't know, so they love you to ask. Okay? So many monks and nuns would feel justified in saying, these are the people who are supportive of Triple Jewel. They've always been very good Buddhist disciples. Let's ask them. You can ask. If you do that, okay, with the same bag of rice that costs, what is it in Korean temples? How much does a bag of rice cost? Jubi, you go to Korean temples. How much are the bags of rice? I'm curious. I'm told $10. Tres.
저는 사실 그동안 그 삼보사찰 사실은 마서 만나기 전에 송광사를 다녔는데 절에 쌀을 보시한 적은 없고 절에 구체적으로 뭐가 필요할지 모르겠는 거예요. 그래서 항상 현금으로 드렸었습니다.
Master, before I met you, I went to Songgangsa, but I never had a opportunity to offer rice because I didn't know specifics of each this temple what they need, so I just pay cash. I just gave cash.
Some people like to donate rice. It's not the same. You pay cash is for everything, but you donate rice, then you have a lot of rice. You never run out of rice. That's a difference. Okay? You eat rice, right? Precisely my point. You eat rice every day. You make sure you at least donate one bag of rice. Okay? Just a hint for you. And so if the mountain spirit knew and recognized Master Tani already, why would he create obstructions for Master Tani and prevented them from going up the mountain and had to wait for Master Tani to beg or to ask? Okay? So this mountain spirit here is not, doesn't have wisdom. He may have power, and that's why he's only a mountain spirit. He has no wisdom whatsoever. Okay? It's the same wood, the same timber. All he has to do is say, okay, hey, please take it. Okay? Without being asked. Then his blessings will be far greater than otherwise. Got that? All right. So this guy has, this mountain spirit has an ego and says, I'm mountain spirit, me, mountain spirit. I like you. You have way virtue. I make an offering to you. Okay? Because I respect you and have faith in you. But this is only for you, not for others. So don't let others come take this wood. Okay? And so, that's the night after he prayed, Master Tani prayed, the mountain spirit came to acknowledge, okay, to say, I agree, you can take the wood. And so the following day, Master Tani brought the workers up. So it's kind of funny that he had to go give Master Tani his consent before Master Tani moved up the mountain, went up the mountain again. So you see the kind of behavior, comportment of the Triple Jewel as Master Tani was a representative of. It's fairly primitive back then. Okay, they didn't know a lot. Okay, so anyway, so Master Tani brought the workers up and he told, I'm sure he told his workers, let's just get enough, don't get more than we need for the temple. Okay, and of course the workers were greedy and said these timbers are very expensive. The master cannot tell the difference, so let's get a lot more and then try to sell them off and make some profit ourselves. Okay? And when they brought the wood back, lo and behold, all of a sudden the government came and confiscated the extra wood and left only the wood for the temple. Kind of response, kind of cool, huh? That somehow the police knew, the wood police knew and would not touch the temple wood. Okay? So you see, these stories are meant to tell you, you left home people, that when you only concentrate on cultivating, don't worry about worldly things. Don't scheme, don't try to get more, don't try to make it easy for yourself. To do what you're supposed to do. And the Dharma protectors will take care of us. You should believe in that. And that's why I'm dead set against having monks and nuns go get a job, okay, or try to make money. That's not what left home people are supposed to do. You're not supposed to worry about making ends meet anymore. Okay, it's very important because if you have to get a job, 8 hours during the day. In Korea, it's probably more like 11 hours per day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week. You have to worry about making a living instead of cultivating and opening your wisdom. Okay? And so it's not wise. And this is why I really love the Chinese system, the Taiwanese Chinese system that Master Hsuan brought here, where we take care of you so that you don't have to worry about making ends meet. Okay, that's very important. It saves you 8 hours or 10 hours during the day of having to worry about money. All right? And so Master Tanyi, back then you hear these stories, and of course the word spreads from his inner circles to other people, and that's why people believe in Master Tanyi. And then furthermore, the next story, the next manifestation of this virtuous monk by the name of Tan Yi, he says, he had a forethought. He says, there are many Buddha statues that King Ashoka made. I think I'd like to have one. So when I first read it, I thought it's a statue of King Ashoka. I said, really? Why would a monk want a statue of King Ashoka? Okay, but that's Master Hsuan's way of speaking. He says, he meant I want to have a statue, or one of those statues that he made. Okay? And so what did he do? Again, in order to get what he wanted, okay, hint, hint. Instead of scheming, instead of trying to call this and call this person and that person to ask for favors, ask for money, what are monks supposed to do? Well, he prayed, he bowed. This is what you're supposed to learn, people. Monks and nuns, this story is very important. Don't beg, don't scheme. You should bow and should pray to the Buddha. If you're seeking something, seek it from the Buddha, seek it from the Bodhisattvas. Of course, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, let me explain to you. Of course, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are watching over you. They say, for example, whoa, they're trying to do something good here. But the Buddha knows, yes? But if you still find it important for you, okay, to get what you need, then instead of calling someone, unless it's an exception, of course, there are always exceptions, but instead of scheming, if I need more money, then I punch a hole in the roof, and that's called scheming, and then call people for donations. Okay, and so forth. You should refrain from doing anything to scheme for donations. That's so important. Instead, if you really need something, like Master Tanyi here, who decided that he needed a statue from King Ashoka, okay, he should not have a need to have a statue of King Ashoka in the first place. But if you really feel that you can live and you cannot function without it, you should bow and pray to the Buddhas. Does it apply to lay people as well? Better believe it. If you need something, if you want something that's important to you, okay? Instead of stealing, instead of begging, instead of trying to teach someone, trying to fool someone to helping you, supporting you, why don't you bow and pray so that you have the blessings to get what you deserve? That's wisdom, folks. Are you taking a photo of me or of the slide? Just kidding. Okay? You see that? This is so important. These stories are meant to help you understand the underlying lesson here. Don't scheme. Don't try to con, scam people. Whatever you want is because you bowed and prayed, meaning that you created blessings that make you worthy to get what you want. You have to do something. All right. So we bow and pray to Buddha every day, every single day. You have to be persistent. You can't just say, "Oh, Buddha, let me have another statue," and then that's it. You have to be consistent. You have to show your faith. You have to suffer. Okay? That's the proper way for you. Because when you do that, you're creating blessings for yourself. All right? Good things happen to you because you make the good blessings mature, come to fruition. All right? Please keep that in mind. Yes, Korean YouTube.
보산사의 서보입니다. 여기는 오디오 문제가 있어 이렇게 질문 올립니다. 법장사의 새 불단이 순백색으로 아주 인상적입니다. 모셔진 불산도 일반적으로 개금을 하는 것과 달리 원목 그대로인 것으로 보입니다. 불단과 불상을 이렇게 모시게 된 인연이 궁금합니다.
Master, this is Sobo from JMT. I'm sorry, we have an audio problem, so I have to just ask by writing. So this is really impressive. At DTT, I see the new altar. It's a pure white. And also the statues, it's really different from ordinary statue. Usually they would use the gold and decorate the outside of the statue. But I could see this is original wood, and that's how the statue was sculpted. So the altar and the statue, is there any certain conditions that we was able to keep them at DTT or plan to keep them at DTT?
Well, yes. Conditions what? The last sentence.
Is there special conditions or affinity cause to have this altar and also statues?
Oh, yeah. We're about to do a fundraiser. I'm glad you mentioned it. By the way, it's costing us an arm and a leg. And the altar is uniquely created, designed for us and created for us. So it's one of its kind, the first one. You see that the thing there it symbolizes clouds. I look at it, I originally asked the designer to have designed an altar that reminds me of, brings up an image of Buddhas floating on the clouds. Okay? And now she came up with this. And to me, I look at it, I loved it, and it feels like the Buddha is riding on phoenixes. That you see the double thing? It's the movement of the wings. It's so beautiful, huh? So you can have it as cloud, or you can have the Buddha's riding on a phoenix. It's so cool. Yeah, we have been struggling a lot with the 3 statues. We actually had termite issues that really bogged us down for months now, and we are finally turning the corner. Hopefully, we just assembled the statues now, finally. And hopefully, we're waiting patiently for another month to make sure that there's no more termite or beetles and the wood is okay. But it's made of fragrant wood from Hunan, China, and it's really, really gorgeous. We want to play low-key right now because of the beetles or the termite issue we have, okay? We don't want to schedule a welcoming the Buddha statues, make a big deal, and then take it down next month to fix the pests issue. So, but thank you for asking. We, as a typical, this thing here, these statues here, and the altar, basically we save money to buy it, and so that's how we function our temple. When we need something, we don't have like the businesses where we go to the bank and borrow money and then finance it and so forth. We usually wait until we have enough money, and then we start looking for things. And so this is primarily the money we saved ourselves. And of course, there's some very nice disciples who offered to, in general, they didn't know. No one knew that we were looking for this. So some people in the past said, Master, I'd like to contribute, X amount of dollars for your statue for this thing here. So we got a few people who did that, okay? But primarily, this is from our own funds, okay? And so that the reason for that is that if we didn't do that, then we have to borrow money, or when the statue comes, we have to find a ways to pay off the loans and so forth. So that's why we usually, I haven't bought any real statues myself for a long, long time, because we didn't feel the need. In a Chan world, we don't need statues. But this is a Pure Land temple, so we decided to get statues of the 3 sages from a Pure Land. Okay? Okay, so that's how we function. We don't ask, we don't tell you, oh, I'm buying statues and would you help? Okay? Or stuff like that. But eventually, in the future, this is not precluding the fact in the future, there are a lot of people who are not interested in practicing Pure Land and get close. So we will not exclude, we will not preclude doing fundraising so that we can help the people who are willing to donate $5, $3, or whatever, to help them plant blessings with Mahayana. Okay? But right now, my primary concern right now is to teach my Sanghans that we are not scheming for donations. We don't have to. We shouldn't have to. We have money, we buy. You don't have money, we don't buy. Okay? That's all. All right? But in the future, if we want to make this Dharma more available to more people, then we have to go the regular route, the traditional route, where we allow people and encourage people to donate a little bit amount of money, whatever, because they need to plant the seeds of blessings with Mahayana, okay? And that's because these people do not have a lot of blessings. That's why we need to take the initiative. Until then, I personally prefer that when people, the way we function is that when people want to donate out of the goodness of their heart, then they get far more blessings if I were to ask them. Okay? All right. So that's how we function. That's where we are right now. This is what I'm trying to teach my Sanghans to understand. This is how we function. This is what I learned from Master XXVII, my Chinese teacher. He never asked for help, except for his big Dharma protector. He would not ask people. He would not do fundraising. Okay, but I'm not excluding it. In the future, when we really want to help people who do not have enough blessings to be able to donate without being asked, then we want to include those people as well. Okay, that's middle way. You don't just say, I'm only serving the people who are the blessings only, okay? And that's enough for us. No, we want to include everyone. But we go by phases. First phase, we allow people with bigger blessings to have even more blessings. And then eventually enlarge the circles, make it available to more people, okay? All right. Where are we? Okay, so listen, back to slide 209. Yes, Jeju Island. Would you like to make a donation, Jeju Island?
Master, I'm leaving for China the day after tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, directly from Jeju to Beijing.
Okay, the paperwork, huh?
Yeah, I took care of it at the office.
So the paperwork is being done, so you have to leave, yeah? Okay, very good. Good luck to you. Would you like to make a donation? No, you're a Sangha. And this have a good trip, yeah? Yeah, enjoy. Have they taken you around to enjoy the Jeju Island food?
Tomorrow, the Venerable Abba will take us to do some sightseeing. Wow,
they're treating you like a honored guest. They're spoiling you. Okay. Wait till you come to the U.S. We treat you like properly. Okay, enjoy, girls. Okay, so notice to slide 209. He prayed and prayed and prayed. And this brings me back the story of the old abbot who used to pray to Wanyin Bodhisattva when he said, after he went out, came back from his labor camp, back to civilization, and he used to pray for Wanyin for this, for that. He needed this, needed that, so he prayed to Wanyin, and then he got responses, and after a while, Wanyin said, I'm kind of tired, Don't you know about great strength? Or all the Buddhas, all the Bodhisattvas, I'm on vacation for now. And so Wanyin didn't answer him for a while, so he said, I don't believe in Wanyin anymore. Okay? This is, and I always wanted to tell him, it's funny, you never learn Buddhism the proper way. You pray to Wanyin and you don't have a response, don't get afflicted. Pray again. If still no response, pray again and again and again until you get a response. And that's the Buddhist way. Okay? Sometimes it's a test of your sincerity. If you're sincere, you get a response. Trust me. You want to go to the Buddha statues and bow and bow and pray and bow and pray and bow and pray and bow and pray. That's what you do. Then you get a response. Believe. Okay? And this is what happened to him. He prayed and prayed and prayed. This is the lesson from Master YongHua. Okay? Principle is that you pray, you bow, you're creating blessings. And you activating the blessings, that's why you get what you want. Without having to scheme, without having to steal, without having to beg. All right? It's nothing wrong with praying and bowing to the Buddhas. That's what they're there for. Got that? This is what the temple is for. You're welcome to come to the temple anytime to pray and bow and pray and bow. That's our role. Okay? We give you free food, place to rest, water, everything. Okay? So that you have a chance to pray and bow, pray and bow. All right? Ooh, lots of questions. Let's try Way Mountain Temple first.
Okay, Emitofuo Master. Can you explain a little more about what it means to pray in Buddhism? I don't have a real good understanding.
To have what in Buddhism?
Pray? I grew up Christian, so I know what it means to pray to God, right? But I don't know what it means to pray to the Buddha.
Same thing. Instead of praying to God, you pray to Buddha. Exact same thing. Okay? You just chose the wrong being to pray to. The gods are good, but there are certain things they cannot help you with. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are a lot more powerful. And that's the trick. The trick here is, let me tell you, it's not just for the Buddhists. You don't have to be Buddhist. You don't have to be a man. Okay? You pray and pray and pray. That's what Master YongHua is teaching you. The story here. It's for everyone, not just for Master Tan Yi. He prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. The point here is that Master Tan Yi, this monk here, he decided, I'm going to need a statue. I cannot function without a statue. Okay? Instead of going to the Buddha, going to the king, going to the governor, and the governor asks, because he knows the governor likes him. He knows that Master Dawan, his shifu, his teacher, likes him. So he can ask the governor, can ask Master Dawan, and ask and so forth. He said, no, I'm a monk. I don't do that. Okay? I prayed. So you basically, one way I'm going to teach you very simple is to bow for you. You bow. You choose a being. Okay, don't choose me. It's not going to work, let me tell you. Do not believe whatever they tell you in the temple. They're BSing you. Okay? I don't teach people that. I don't even want you to bow to Master YongHua. Okay? It would work. But I'd rather you bow to the Buddha, Wanyin Bodhisattva, great strength, those big shots. We are small shots. For the time you spend, one motion you bow to the Buddha and say, Namo Amitofuo. Okay? Please help me get what I want. Get up. Namo Amitofuo. Please help me get what I want. That's what you do. And somehow you get help. Either you get a super lotto or a wife, I don't know, or someone will introduce you to a, good job, okay? Something like that, okay? There will be some kind of responses, okay? And that's what praying means. He prayed, meaning he bowed. He bowed to the Buddha, meaning bowed to Shakyamuni Buddha. He didn't know about Amitabha Buddha back then. Okay? We bowed to Shakyamuni Buddha. Please, World Honor One, help me get a Indian Buddha statue. And he said, please, World Honor One, get me an Indian Buddha statue by King Ashoka. Okay? It's kind of funny to me that a Chinese monk would want to get an Indian Buddha statue. I mean, it's, you know, they're so cosmopolitan back then already. Oh, never mind. Okay? So he prayed and prayed and prayed. That's the lesson. Okay? And that's how one day, we don't know how many days he had to, to pray. Okay? But you keep at it, because if you have nothing else to do, why not? Okay? So one day, indeed, a Buddha statue. Oh, wait, there are two more questions. Sorry. Korean JMT. Yeah, special effects. Same sound issue like last night.
Con có cái bằng chứng là lúc mua cái quay Sơn Tự đó, quay Mountain đó. Trước đó con với thầy đi coi rất là nhiều chỗ. Mình chịu rồi thì mua thì họ phá. Mình mua không được. Thậm chí mình chịu giá rồi họ cũng bỏ thêm tiền mặt họ phá. Thì khi được cái coi quay Mountain á, bữa đó con cũng có đi với thầy. Thì sau đó thầy biểu con là một ngày 1 tiếng đồng hồ. Liên tục 1 tháng cầu nguyện đi. Thì biểu con cầu cái gì? Thì con nhớ người ta phá mình. Nên con dùng cái bàn tay thứ 13 là cái fish, cái trần á. Để con quét mấy cái người mà tranh với mình ra để mình lấy cái đó. Và thứ hai con cầu Chúa Giêsu. Con nói Chúa có rất là nhiều nhà thờ ở Mỹ này. Rất là cả ngàn ngôi, con rất là nhiều thầy trò, tôi cần một chỗ để tu. Vì Lưu Sơn Tự chặt quá rồi. Mà đây chúng tôi không có xin Ngài không, mà chúng tôi xin Ngài giúp cho chúng tôi mua được thôi. Không có xin. Sau đó báo là mua được. Khi mà cái nhà thờ
Sorry, we're having sound issues. We cannot hear. We could hear Master C on Discord, but not in-house.
Well, maybe we can translate into English.
Okay.
As long as Ahong can hear him, all we want is we could just simply get by with the English translation.
Con mới dùng cái phất trần á, con quán cái phất trần, con quét mấy cái người mà tới phá hoại mình ra để mình mua được. Và thứ hai là con cầu Chúa Giêsu giúp cho thầy trò con mua được để mà có cái chỗ tu vậy nó lớn hơn. Vì Lưu Sơn Tự chặt quá. Giá dịch đi.
Emitofuo, Master, this story of praying to Quan Shiyin Bodhisattva, and also in relate to Alex begging for his God, I have a response, a witness that. So back in the day, we bought Wei Mountain Temple. So before that, we have been looking for a lot of place to the point that even if we accept the Wei place and we paid cash straight to them, and somehow we have a lot of obstruction. People come and obstructing us. And when we got to Wei Mountain Temple, then Master instructed me to pray for an hour each day for the whole month. At that time, I didn't know what to do. However, I know that there's a lot of people have been obstructing us. So I have been using hands number 13 to sort of like sweep away these obstruction, these people. And second is that I pray to Jesus. I'm saying that so you have a lot of churches around the United States, probably more than 1,000 of them. So then here at Lu Mountain Temple is very crowded. and we need a better way place. So not just because we just wanted to just get the temple, just get the church from you for free. We just want you to agree to give it to us and we pay it back. Cannot hear him.
Sau đó thì nghe chưa? Không nghe chưa?
I know one more language we need to learn, sign language.
Hình Chúa mà Giêsu giống như cái hình ở bên Ấp Tạng vậy đó, hình Chúa Giêsu giống vậy. Dục trong đống rác á.
Wow, sounds better.
Con hình con thờ để báo ơn với Ngài. Không biết là mình tăng không có thờ Chúa, nhưng mà con thờ để mà cảm ơn tỏ cái lòng mà biết ơn của mình với một người giúp mình. Thì con lên qua Mạc con mua cái khung. Thì trong lúc chờ trả tiền thì một ngôi xá lợi dưới chân con. Thì khi khum xuống con lượm con hỏi chứ mình có ăn trộm của qua Mạc cái xá lợi nào trên cái đất của người ta. Thì sau lưng con là cái bà đang quét cái sàn nên con lượm như con cất. Bây giờ con đang thờ cái đó trong cái gắn trong cái ngực của Chúa Giêsu ở trong cái phòng con bây giờ đó, từ hồi mua cái Way Mountain tới bây giờ. Tức là trả lời với anh Alex là cầu trời cầu thật gì cũng được, mình cần thì mình hỏi một cách trong cái chánh pháp, trong cái giới luật, bằng cách chân thành thì sẽ được. Câu thứ hai là cầu Quan Âm. Thì cách đây khoảng một tuần, ngồi từ 3 giờ sáng cho đến 6 giờ 40 là mình ra để ăn sáng đó. Thì đến 6 giờ sáng con quá mệt mỏi đi, về phòng con nằm đã đồng hồ reo nửa tiếng thì ngủ được nửa tiếng. Thì đang ngủ nằm mơ thấy một cánh đồng rộng mênh mông mà cỏ rác cái rừng không một bóng người, không nhà cửa gì hết, có cái bờ mổ mình đi thôi. Tối nửa sáng, không có súc vật chim chóc nhà cửa gì hết. Thì đi âm thầm đi lên cái đường như vậy thì sau lưng có hai người đàn ông cách mình khoảng 100 mét họ đi theo, nói xù xì gì không biết, mà lúc đó con giảm giác con biết. Nó nói mình bây giờ già lắm rồi, không thể nào mình chiến đấu với hai cái người đàn ông này. Thì họ càng lúc càng gần. Thì cách con khoảng 2 mét, con ngồi xuống. Thì hai người ngồi hai bên. Là mình chờ họ sẽ tấn công mình thôi. Thì tự khắc trong đầu mình nó khởi lên chứ không có nói cái miệng luôn. Chỉ nghĩ là Nam Mô Quan Tham Bồ Tát thôi. Không có mở miệng ra. Nó tự động đâu trong cái thức mình. Thì hai người đã đứng dậy đi mất. Đó là câu chuyện thứ như vậy đó. Rồi gần đây nhất là tháng 11 kỳ rồi con về Việt Nam chăm cứu thì ghé thăm cô Trúc. Thì con mới lại Đức Phật, con nói con cầu xin Ngài giúp cho con có trí tuệ để con chia sẻ người khác. Và thứ hai, con phải có sức khỏe để con làm cái chuyện đó. Xin Phật Thích Ca từ bi cho con hai cái sinh này. Thì ngay tức khắc khi con đang quỳ, sau lưng con là cô Trúc với người bạn cổ với hai em gái con với bạn nó là 4 người. Con quỳ xuống lại thì 4 người đứng sau lưng. 3 ngôi kim quang bằng cái đầu ngón tay mình ở trên cái y của con, sau lưng sau cái chân mình á, trên cái y. Phía trước là 4 ngôi với một số sao là màu nâu. Thì 7 ngôi kim quang đó về đây tới nay hôm nay về đây không tới 2 tháng. Bây giờ có 4 ngôi baby nữa. Đó là sự cảm ứng con gặp được, con xin chia sẻ với đại chúng. Xin hết.
Emitofuo, can you hear me? Hello. Okay, so after we got the church, so everybody threw out the picture, the image of Jesus. So then also at DTT, they also threw away to the trash. So then I pick up one and I try to worship that, try to appreciate it. I understand that as a monk, we're not supposed to bow to the God. However, it's just out of appreciation that we were able to get the temple. So I just show my gratitude to him. So then I went to Walmart to buy a frame to put in the picture. So I was waiting on the line, in line, and then somehow I saw a relic appear on the ground. At that time, I look around to see whether it is actually we trying to steal. I'm stealing it from nowhere. But however, I saw that people are. One of the worker was sweeping things away. So I just pick up the relics, and then now I still put it in the frame and right at the heart of the Jesus and carry it with me to today. So my response to Alex is that whatever you wish for, if you are sincere, if it is in accord with the proper Dharma and with the rule, precept, and morality, you will be able to get what you want. And my second story is about Kuan Yin Bodhisattva respond. So around 3 o'clock to 6:40, just 2 months ago. So around a week ago, 6 o'clock in the morning, I feel very tired, and then I put the clock on, but somehow I was in a dreamy state. And in that dream, I saw there was a big field and no one's around me, but somehow there was two person right behind me and just tag me along. And at that time, the scenes around me, there's no animal, there's no bird, nothing at all. But these two men just keep tagging with me. But at that time, I understand that my body was very old. I don't want to fight anybody. Somehow I feel like I'm about to sit down, and I got tired. So I sat down and I crossed my legs, and I'm just waiting for these two going to attack me. However, in my conscious, naturally, Namo Kwan Yin Bodhisattva come out, and not even, I don't even recite it, but just my consciousness just recite Namo Kwan Yin Bodhisattva, and immediately these two men disappear. And so the third thing is that in November, before I went to Vietnam to have acupuncture and also meet with Cô Chúc. And then I bowed to Shakyamuni Buddha, and I told the Buddha is that I wanted to use my life to help other people. Please help me, guide me to do what I can. However, I actually need strength to be able to work. So then immediately when I kneel and bow, at that time there was 4 people witnessing this event, my sister and Cô Chúc and the other person. So 3 or 4 of us, the 3 or 4 of them were behind me, and they immediately saw 4 golden relics appear on my sash. And then when I brought it back, so 2 months later, it gave birth to 4 more relics. This is the response that I would like to share with the assembly.
Very nice. Okay, thank you for your input. Do we have Korean YouTube, right? Who's been patiently waiting. Go ahead.
입금 정혜윤님 코멘트입니다. 아미타불 마스터, 매일 법문을 해주셔서 감사합니다. 몇 주 전 선칠 기간에 보라선원 정토법회에서 아미타불 연보를 하였습니다. 호염, 좌염, 무겸 중에 용 같은 흰색 형상이 우리가 호염하던 반대 방향으로 띠를 이루며 도는 모습을 보았습니다. 무겸 내내 드라이 아이스 같은 희고 긴 형상이 꼬리에 꼬리를 물고 돌았는데 용인가 하는 생각을 낸 순간 사라졌습니다. 계속 무겸 중인 와중에도 생각이 떴습니다. 저 형상이 용인가 보다 하고 분석하려는 마음이 들었고 이 마음이 들자 형상이 사라졌습니다.
Master, thank you for your daily Dharma talk. I'd like to share this story. My name is Ipkum Chonghae-yun. A few weeks ago, I attended Sunday Pure Land Assembly at JC. During the ceremony, I recited Buddha's name, and we recited around the Buddha hall. We sat and also recited silently. When we are actually reciting Buddha's name around the Buddha hall, I was able to see there was something looks like dragon, but it was white form, and they were going around opposite direction from our direction. And then after that, for silent recitation during the whole time, the same form looks like dry ice and pure white and long form and has a tail. So many of these are tail after tail was going around. And then at that moment, in my mind, there was thought arise and say, is this a dragon? And when I start to analyze the form, and the thought just disappear. Thank you.
Wow, more responses. Very good. Thank you for sharing the response with us. Okay, I have 10 minutes left. Let me try to finish the slides tonight. So one day he kept on praying. One day outside a northern gate, a Buddha statue emitted light. So apparently there was a Buddha statue outdoors on the gate and emitted light. Okay, and so people noticed it, and the White Horse Temple people, they found out, and they tried to move them, tried to pick them up, but they couldn't move the statue. And Master Tanyi says, of course, I'm the one who requested the statue. You should go and bring it back. Okay, and so the question that came to mind is that who brought the statue there? He's the specialist in precepts. He's very pure in observing the precepts. He would not steal, in particular. If the statue, according to the precepts, the statue is in a public place, either it belongs to the government or belongs to someone else. It doesn't belong to him. How could he possibly even want to move it to his temple? That is stealing. What do you think? And he's supposed to be pure in precepts. You cannot move. You cannot take things that belong to public domain. Okay? Either it belongs to government or belongs to someone else. It's not yours. You cannot take it. You cannot move it to your property, even if it's to help others, even if it's a public place. You are not the owner. You cannot move things. You cannot move things at all. If you don't, you're not the owner. So I don't know how the Chinese let this slide, because to me, he's violating precepts. He's not supposed to do this. Even if the statue emitted light, it's not his. He cannot move it. Okay? So Master Tanyi he said, I request a statue, therefore you should go bring it back. They couldn't move it. Clearly it's for us. So he brought 3 of his disciples there. Must be a real small statue, 3 people. This statue is in wood, made of wood. We needed 5 people. Okay? 3 people, must be very, very tiny statue, probably paper. Okay? I'm kidding. So 3 of his disciples, and with him there is 4, and easily carried the statue back to his temple. And I said, wait a minute. If I were him, I would bring my 3 disciples, 1, 2, 3, carry the statue to the White Horse Temple. That would be better, wouldn't it? Agree, disagree? I want a statue. Assume I'm Master Tani. I want a statue very much because I want, say, this is a response from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Okay? So this statue emitted light. So this is fantastic. Must be that statue. So guess what? It's not mine. And the white horse temple people want it. Okay? It would be very helpful to them. The white horse, I don't know the same white horse temple that was the first one that was housed to bring the scrolls that Xuanzang, Dharma Master, brought back. Different city? I say it takes Chinese to know this difference. To me, all cities are the same in China. Or Beijing or Shanghai. Okay? Anyway, so to me, so different city. Regardless, even if it's not the authentic White Horse Temple, I say, okay, now I can move the statue. This is fantastic, okay? Meaning it's meant for me. I prayed for it, saw the light, and now I'm allowed to move it. So I tell you what, let me move it to the White Horse Temple. Wouldn't that be nice? If he did that, you know what? When he did that, he comes back his temple. The Dharma protector will have brought a bigger statue to his temple. I'm trying to make you greedy. You do the right things, you don't worry about it. Clearly, the White Horse people wanted it, the temple, they wanted it, and they couldn't move it. Wouldn't it be nice as, in a sense of brotherhood, that he would move it to their temple? Have a heart, guys. I want you to think bigger. Be more generous and not be so worried about yourself, your needs. Everyone has needs. If you have enough, you feel you have enough, you don't need to keep on insisting for things. Huh? Think about it. If he were to move that statue to the White Horse Temple, the people with the bear would be so much better off. They, now we have the response. You know, that statue emits light, so the people come and bow to it, make offerings, will help the temple. Okay? Isn't that what he's trying to do? Anyway, I'm teaching you the American version of the story. Okay? Hey, Xianjin, you're going back to China. I want you to bring back the American story. Okay? We have our standards. You're not Hanzu, are you? Never mind. So Master Xinhua reminded us, he got a relic. He's got an offering of timber from the mountain spirit. Okay? He got a Buddha statue that was built by King Ashoka. Okay? Again, this guy doesn't understand precepts. And of course, it turns out that Indian monk came and had a look and said the Buddha statue was built by King Ashoka. I would tell you this, that Indian monk there probably is connected to Murali's mother. Okay, it's that generation. They know of these people. Okay? And so, and to me, it's so funny because, so you're an Indian monk, what makes you an authority that says this is a statue made by King Ashoka? What are your credentials? The Chinese are so naive back then. What? Don't you think? I mean, if it were to happen right now, and so many of you, are you for real? What kind of monk are you? What are your credentials? Give me your social security number. Where's your address in India? Huh? You know, no, back then, all you have to do is dress as someone, okay, who says, I'm an Indian monk, and I certify this to be made by King Ashoka. Back then, the Chinese are so naive, you know. And so that's why Jianglin area, the Jiang, not Jing, there's a typo here. Back then, because of all these responses with Master Tan Yi, Buddhism was very, very, has a huge following, very, very popular, not prevalent, very popular. We don't prevail, we popularize. All right? And that's the story of Master Tan Yi and his contribution to Buddhism. Okay, time is up. We hear. Anyone has any questions or comments before Xianjin goes back to China? Anyone would like to say anything to her? Tomorrow they're going out to eat with the abbot. No?
Out, no eating.
What?
We can eat outside yet.
Okay. Anyone has any questions or comments? Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow night. GF question? Yes, GF, go ahead. Ask your question.
질문 아니고 코멘트입니다. 그 산신 이야기가 나와서 2021년도 그 여름 선치를 노산사에서 했을 때 마스터 생신 때 산신이 왔었습니다. 그 이야기를 이제 말씀드리고 싶어서 코멘트합니다. 2021년도.
So, Master, this is not a question, it's only a comment. So, it's about mountain spirit. 2021, Blue Mountain Temple, during your birthday, there was a mountain spirit visited to LMT. I just want to tell you that. Thank you.
저기 그때
An Indian monk told you so?
그렇게 얘기했습니까?
그때 이제 마스터 생신을 2번을 했는데 일요일 날 많은 사람들이 오는 일요일 날 한 번 했고 이제 그 볼 생일을 한 2, 3일 후에 했는데 그때 우리가 한국 스님들이 음식을 마련하고 시간이 남아서 법당에서 결과부자를 하고 있었는데 그때 비전이 그때 이제 마스터가 안 오셨어요. 그래서 마스터 오시기를 기다리면서 법당에 앉아서 결과부자를 하고 있었는데 하얀 옷을 입은 산신이 앞장을 서고 그 뒤에 어두운 색의 옷을 입은 5사람의 남자분이 함께 왔는데 노산사 그 대문을 들어오는데 그들은 땅 위를 걷지 않고 땅에서 한 10cm쯤 떨어져서 이렇게 흐르듯이 걸었어요. 굉장히 빠르게. 그리고 그 산신은 가장 큰, 그 미국에서 가장 큰 산에 사는 신, 그 작은 산에 사는 산신들도 있는데 가장 큰 산에 사는 산신이었고 5명이 따라온 그 수행원들은 산에서 수행하는 수행자들이면서 그들은 이렇게 무술도 할 수 있는 그런 사람이었고 굉장히 급하게 갑자기 굉장히 급하게 서둘러서 와가지고 공양관으로 들어가는 그런 그 비전이 있었습니다. 그리고 그때 마스터께서 오셔서 그 LA에서 2-3시간 거리에 있는 어떤 수도원이 이렇게 매물로 나왔다 하면서 그 자료들을 보여주셨고, 그때 이제 이렇게 산신이 허락을 해야지 이렇게 저를 그 자리를 구하는데 아무나 구할 수 있는 게 아니고 이미 그 산신이 우리 영화 마스터께서 원하는 곳은 그 모두 다 구할 수 있어요. 원하는 곳에. 그리고 그들이 이렇게 그것을 돕는구나 하는 생각이 들었습니다. 그리고 그 후에 이 법장사를 얼마 후에 이 법장사를 이제 구입하셨다는 이야기를 들었습니다. 이상입니다.
There's more people at Go Forest than here. No, it's not true. The people back there. Okay. Almost the same amount of people. Go ahead, translation, please.
So, Master, at the time, we did a birthday celebration twice for you. One time on Sunday, for a lot of people to be able to celebrate with you. And second time, about 2-3 days later, just on your birthday, we're able to celebrate. So at the time, Korean Slim's preparing lunch offerings, and then we're done. And while we're waiting for you, we're sitting in the Buddha hall and we're meditating. We're sitting in full lotus, and I saw vision. There was a man with white clothes, and with the 5 men behind him with the dark clothes on them. They were passing the gate of the Lu Mountain Temple, and they're kind of levitating about 10 centimeters from the floor, and they're flowing really quickly. And they passed through the gate, and they went into the kitchen. So at the time, what I understood was this mountain spirit is the mountain spirit of the highest mountain in U.S. And also there are other mountain spirits from the lower mountains. But the 5 people were they were able to do the martial arts, and they were actually living in that mountain, and they're assisting and cultivating at the mountain. And at the time, Master returned, and you said you're looking for places, and you saw some place 2 or 3 hours away from LA, some kind of praying center, and it was up for sale. So you went to see those locations. So Venerable XE, I realized maybe in order to buy purchasing of places for way places is if the master wants any location, of course, Mountain Spirit will allow that, but also purchasing a way place in certain areas, definitely Mountain Spirits is involved. And after that, a few months later, I heard that you purchased DTT. Thank you.
WMT.
위산사예요? 아니면 법장사예요? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, WMT. Because before WMT, we found a place in Aguanga, which has a mountain. It has a 1-mile lake. It was asking for, it was in bankruptcy. It was near default because the business, it was rented to a Camp X who went belly up, so the owner took it back, and they couldn't rent it anymore, and so it was vacant for a while. I came in, and they asked for $1.6 million. I still remember this. So I told my agent, tell them I put down $200,000. You finance the rest for me. And we were haggling back and forth. And he was haggling. He was negotiating. And then after a month or so, someone walked in and offered them $1.6 million in cash. And that's when I gave up looking for a temple. I said, it's not meant for me. Okay, I don't have enough money to buy anything in California, so maybe I move to, God forbid, Texas. Anyway, so that's the story behind those mountain spirits and so forth. Yeah? How interesting. It was such a long time ago. Okay. I wanted to say something, but I forgot. How is acupuncture? Xinan, how do you like it?
네, 많이 좋습니다. 감사합니다.
Yeah, yes, it's great. He's great.
Great. Can you be more
He's good.
specific? Like he's helping your digestion, with your hearing, your eyesight, your appetite. What is it great about? Why is it so great?
왜 그렇게 좋습니까? 얘기해 보세요.
첫 번째 갔었을 때는 그냥 침을 맞았고 제 이렇게 심장하고 이렇게 배가
심장. The heart.
심장과
Yeah, you have heart issues.
심장과 배가 다 안 좋다 이제 그러셨고 그 다음에 제가 저혈압이 있는데 두 번째 날에 가서
Okay, honey, we don't have a lot of time. Don't. You can stop there. You have a lot of issues.
거기서 멈추시래요. 문제가 많다고. So first visit, when I met him and he did a treatments, he told me that my heart and my stomach is bad, and also I have a low blood pressure, and that's when you stopped her. Thank you.
Wow, looks like you come in the right time. Okay, how about one textinim? Are you in pain? Did he cause a lot of pain to you? What happened to Jung-in? Jung-in didn't go? I don't see Jung-in. Did he pass out? Is Jung-in there?
Master, sorry.
Yeah.
Master, I didn't go today, so we are pretty late today.
You're late today? Oh, how convenient. Okay, I hope you have a lot of pain tomorrow to make up for it. Jung-in Sunim. Yeah, look at that. And Jung too, he's hiding behind. Oh, okay, very good. See, there are more people in Go Force than here, if we don't count the kids. Wow, look at that. Half of them are Sanghans anyway. Okay, thank you everyone. We'll see you tomorrow night. Look at that. That makes it there are more people there than you. Okay. See, when the applause, you can't even hear the applause. He's a joker.